The chamber was small, circular, and eerily silent. The air hung heavy with the scent of dust and something else, ozone perhaps, or the faint metallic tang of old energy. The walls were lined with shelves, crammed with books, journals, and strange artifacts, crystalline prisms, intricately carved wooden boxes, and metallic instruments of unknown purpose. It was Blackwood's private laboratory, a sanctuary where he'd pursued his obsessive research. Elias spent hours poring over Blackwood's notes, meticulously piecing together the fragments of his research. The journals revealed a mind consumed by a singular obsession, the belief that the structure was not merely a physical edifice, but a conduit to other dimensions, a gateway to manipulate time itself. Blackwood's theories were unorthodox, to say the least. He believed that time was not linear, but a fluid, multidimensional construct, capable of being bent, stretched, and even reversed. He theorized that the structure acted as a focal point, a nexus where the fabric of time was thin and permeable. The stone resonates with the harmonic frequencies of the cosmos, Blackwood wrote. It amplifies the natural vibrations of time, creating ripples and distortions in the temporal field. By manipulating these vibrations, we can access other dimensions, other realities, other possibilities. Elias, a trained historian, struggled to reconcile Blackwood's fantastical theories with his own scientific understanding. But the sheer volume of Blackwood's research, the meticulous detail, and the undeniable evidence of his intellectual brilliance forced him to reconsider his assumptions. Blackwood had identified specific geometric patterns within the structure's carvings that corresponded to specific frequencies of light and sound. He believed that by activating these patterns, he could create a resonant field that would unlock the structure's hidden potential. The chromatic key is the key to unlocking the temporal field, Blackwood wrote. By aligning the colors with the geometric patterns, we can create a harmonic resonance that will open a gateway to other dimensions. Elias found a detailed diagram of the chromatic key, a complex arrangement of colored circles and geometric shapes. He realized that the diagram wasn't merely a visual representation, but a map of the structure's internal energy flow. He decided to experiment. He retrieved a set of colored lenses from Blackwood's laboratory, each lens corresponding to a specific color in the chromatic key. He carefully positioned the lenses over the geometric carvings on the structure's surface, following the pattern in the diagram. As he aligned the final lens, a strange sensation washed over him. The air around him shimmered and the colors of the carvings seemed to intensify. He felt a tingling sensation in his fingertips and a faint humming sound filled the chamber. Then, the world began to distort. The walls of the chamber seemed to breathe, expanding and contracting in a rhythmic pulse. The colors of the carvings swirled and blended, creating a kaleidoscope of light and shadow. He felt a wave of dizziness wash over him and his vision blurred. He stumbled back, clutching his head. The chamber seemed to spin around him, and he felt a sense of disorientation that bordered on panic. Then a fleeting image flashed before his eyes, a glimpse of a different chamber, a different structure, a different time. He saw men in archaic uniforms, tending to a massive, oil-burning lamp. The image vanished as quickly as it appeared, leaving him gasping for breath. He shook his head, trying to regain his bearings. He felt a strange sense of déjà vu, as if he'd experienced this moment before. He couldn't shake the feeling that he was losing his grip on reality. He continued to experiment with the chromatic key, carefully adjusting the angles of the lenses, manipulating the colors, and observing the effects. Each time he experienced strange distortions of perception, fragmented memories, fleeting visions, and a growing sense of disorientation. He began to notice that the effects weren't random. Certain colors seemed to trigger specific memories, childhood experiences, forgotten dreams, and glimpses of events he'd never witnessed. He realized that the chromatic key wasn't merely manipulating time, but also accessing the collective unconscious, tapping into the vast reservoir of human memory. He developed a theory about the structure's purpose. He believed that it wasn't merely a gateway to other dimensions, but a kind of resonant amplifier, capable of amplifying and projecting thoughts, emotions, and memories across time and space. He theorized that the structure had been used by ancient civilizations as a means of communication, a way of preserving knowledge, and a tool for manipulating reality. But as he delved deeper into Blackwood's research, he began to sense a growing darkness, a disturbing undercurrent of obsession and madness. Blackwood's journals revealed a man increasingly consumed by his research, willing to sacrifice everything, his sanity, his reputation, even his own life in pursuit of his goals. He found a hidden passage in Blackwood's journal, a chilling confession of his growing paranoia and fear. Blackwood wrote about being watched, about hearing voices, and about sensing a malevolent presence within the structure. "The stone is not merely a conduit," Blackwood wrote. "It is a prison, something is trapped within, something ancient and powerful, and it is beginning to awaken." As he read those words, a cold shiver ran down his spine. He felt a growing sense of unease, a feeling that he was not alone in the structure. He glanced around the chamber, his heart pounding in his chest. He heard a faint scratching sound coming from the walls. He strained his ears, trying to identify the source of the sound. It sounded like claws. He grabbed a flashlight and swept the beam across the walls. He saw nothing, but the scratching sound continued, growing louder, more insistent. It seemed to be coming from all directions, surrounding him, closing in. He felt a prickling sensation on the back of his neck, a feeling that he was being watched. He turned around slowly, scanning the chamber. He saw a shadow flicker in the corner of his eye. He shone the flashlight on the shadow. It was gone, but he knew instinctively that he wasn't alone. Something was in the structure with him, something ancient, something powerful, something malevolent. He was no longer sure if he was unraveling the mystery or being drawn into a nightmare.